Not again.
Dread.
Nervous.
Exciting and dreading.
Frustration.
Hiring. My name's Arushi and I play badminton at Monte Vista. Conditioning for us is usually for starting off with like running and then bunny hops and high knees, and so kind of like more physical and like more movement kind of conditioning. And then after that we go inside into the gym and then we do more badminton related conditioning like footwork, because that helps a lot for like movement on the court, and then also conditioning with practicing our shots and kind of like warm-ups like that. So when I usually hear conditioning, especially when that we have like conditioning outside, you know, with the running and everything, I feel like, oh man, not again, because I just feel very tired just hearing the word, because I like playing the sport rather than doing the conditioning itself, because that's not really related to my sport as much, but it does help with stamina. But for me, it's like I don't have like good long distance or stamina kind of.
My name's Maya and I play water polo and track and field. So for track and field, that generally means like a lot of reps around the track, or like a lot of 200s or 300s and stuff like that. For water polo, it's a lot of swimming generally and some dry land exercises as well sometimes. It's necessary, but it's obviously not my favorite. Like for water polo, I'd rather be scrimmaging, but it's necessary to get your body used to swimming so much during a game.
Hi, my name's Neil. I play opposite for my boys volleyball team. Conditioning usually requires a lot of sprints. We don't really do much conditioning this year, but last year before COVID, we went to the weight room a lot to work on like legs and explosiveness. So we did like a lot of squats, lunges, weighted squats and all that. Yeah. I don't think a lot of athletes do it, especially for volleyball, because for volleyball, we do a lot of sprinting, and I just like one of the things I hate is just like cardio itself. So it's just like a lot of work. So I always like kind of sigh whenever I hear like we have to do conditioning today or something like that. We do like liner sprints, and it's called 21s. So basically we have to complete the sprint under 21 seconds, which is like usually it's very difficult for most players. So that's why I kind of hate that one the most.
I'm Prathmesh. I've been playing football for so far all of these 3 years, and then I also play basketball. I played for 2 seasons so far. It differs between each sport. So in football, I would say it's a lot more intense because usually we're playing in the summer, right? And we have all these gears on and we have like padding and things like that. So like it's a lot harder to, you know, condition and run. But usually we condition for about like the last 30 minutes. But again, it differs each practice. Over summer workouts, we condition a lot. It's usually like the whole day. I'd say it differs between like which one's tiring, but sometimes basketball does feel more tiring just because it's like really compact in the gym and it just feels really hot and it's really hard to breathe. But I'd say football is more tiring just because of the padding and like just because it's just so much weight to carry on you. Well, for football, usually I kind of like it because when coach calls conditioning, that's usually the end of practice. So everyone kind of looks forward to conditioning, at least for football, because everyone knows like that's the end of practice and everyone kind of wants practice to end, especially if it's like summertime and summer practice. But for basketball, no one really likes it because, or at least I don't really like it because it doesn't mean that practice is over, right? Just like conditioning, we just run to run.
So conditioning for soccer usually consists mainly of running. We do lots of leg exercises. We do very minimal like core workout, which includes like, you know, push-ups and sit-ups. We do lots of sprints, running around the field, leg workout. So at first I'm obviously super bummed because no one likes conditioning, but once I'm like in the zone of conditioning, I'm nearing the end, I have a motivation to want to finish it because I know after I'm gonna feel super good about myself and as a team. So usually, yeah, it goes from the beginning, I'm super devastated, but once I'm in it like to grind, and I just keep pushing it until the end. On the upper field, we like do laps. When we do lap, we go up and down the stairs on each side. Those really hurt my thigh muscles and my calves a lot.
Well, conditioning is we usually start off in the beginning of practice. We do something called four-step, and it's basically like four-step is like the basic step of Ross, and it's basically when you're using your knees to kick up. And we usually do that for about a minute, and then we take a break, and then we do like a minute and 30 again, and we'll do it to like any type of upbeat music, just to kind of warm up before we actually start the routine. To maintain stamina, we actually do a lot of run-throughs of our whole like routine. So we'll like, after we got a song down, we'll make sure to like repeat the song multiple times. And then even like when we have the whole routine down, we usually do like full run-throughs before our shows, just to make sure all members have their stamina. Yeah, it does get pretty tough when it gets like to 5 to 6 minutes in the whole routine, but I think even when it's kind of tough, we do uplift each other in the process. So I think even though it is tiring, it's also super fun. So. Well, I think it's something that not a lot of people like to do, but I think it's extremely, extremely important, especially for Ross, because stamina is extremely important. And I think towards the end of the routine or any dance routine, you kind of start to look tired, or energy starts to lack. And I think that's why with Ross, because if the conditioning really helps you keep like the momentum going in your routine and making sure the audience is still engaged with your routine, and that's why conditioning is very important and we have to do it.